Hi, welcome to this episode of Low Carb in the Leaves with me, Dr. Mary Barson. I had a few instances over the weekend where I was reminded again about the importance of focusing on what I can control. I just had one of those trying weeks and, where I was pulled in lots of directions, and it was no one's fault. It's just one of those weeks. I had friends who were in crisis and needed me, had issues at work where there was some crises and they needed me, people in my family needing me, and it was all fine. I was all happy to do it, but I was pulled in lots of different directions, and by the end of the week I felt quite tired. And it reminded me, I'm not going into details, but it reminded me that it is important to focus on what we can control. And that one thing that we can rarely ever control is the other people in our lives. Children, small children, probably a definite exception to that, but certainly the other adults in our lives, we can't really control them. Good morning, everybody. We can influence them and they influence us, but we can't control them, and we shouldn't let them control us either. So last week, just necessarily, what I like to call my circle of influence was sort of pushing and pulling, and that was okay. And to counteract that, to keep myself in control and in balance, I decided I need to focus on what I call my circle of control. So this is a psychological construct. I've adapted it from the wonderful Steve Covey, who wrote The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, which is a fantastic book. I strongly encourage you to read it if you haven't already. It's wonderful. And he talks about circle of control and circle of concern. And I've taken this idea and adapted it a little bit to behaviour change and to help my patients and clients navigate lifestyle change and all of the mind management that goes along with staying on track with the healthy changes that they want to be able to just get well and live the life that they want and not be bound by the horrible consequences of chronic fatigue and being overweight. So, circle of control, that's what's in the centre. It's a little circle. And within our circle of control encompasses everything over which we have direct control. And the only things over which we have direct control is ourselves. So we can control where we go, what we say, what we do, what we eat, what we drink, what we don't eat, what we don't drink. We can control our own actions, and that's it. That's the circle of control. And then around us, we have our circle of influence. It encompasses the circle of control, and it is made up of all the people in our lives, largely the people in our lives and the forces that act on us. And they influence us and we influence them, but they are not within our control. And the more that we let our people within our circle of influence, that's around our circle of control, the more that we let them influence us, or the more we let external forces influence us, the more our circle of control shrinks and shrinks. Conversely, the more we focus on just us and just what we can control, then our circle of control grows and grows, and with it we push out on our circle of influence as well. An example might be a mum who's trying to transition to a healthy, low-carb, real food diet, but is overwhelmed by the fact that their children are still, total carboholics, still eating all of the things, still eating all of the bread and the muesli bars and the chips and the roll-ups and the up and goes and whatever it is that their children are consuming. And I would say just start with your circle of control. If it's all too overwhelming to try and change everyone within your circle of influence, just start with yourself, your circle of control. It starts with you. You can change what you eat, what you drink, what you don't eat, what you don't drink, what you do, what you say, where you go, your actions. And then, over time, that circle of control will grow you get better at it, and you can influence those people in your life positively. But also knowing that those people that aren't us will forever remain in our circle of influence and never within our circle of control. And that's okay. They've all got their own circles of control and their own circle of influence. So, have a great day, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow. And focus on those wonderful things that are within our circle of control. Bye-bye. It won't end.